Welcome back to the series from the Academy of Adoption and Assisted Reproduction Attorneys for our different states in the United States. Today we are covering the state of Utah, and I am more than thrilled to introduce you to two of my favorite fellows within the Academy and two of the most respected professionals, I think, within the assisted reproduction field. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves today? Lauren, do you want to start?
Sure. Hello, I'm Lauren Barros. I live in Park City, Utah, and I have a practice that covers all of Utah. I've been a family law attorney since 1993 and really came to surrogacy. I don't even know how many,
right?
a long time ago. I don't know how many years ago, but I came to it from representing people who were gay or lesbian who couldn't have children any other way than through surrogacy. And now surrogacy takes up most of my practice. I still also do other areas of family law, but surrogacy is my favorite. And I help people from around the world with surrogacy in Utah. I'm what else can I tell you about myself? I am an avid outdoors woman, and I like to hike and bike and backcountry ski and cross country ski with my family and my friends. And I have a history of volunteering to help the community. What else? I don't know.
A problem saying no, right?
I have a problem saying no. Yes. I used to be on the Salt Lake County Search and Rescue team. And then since that time, since I stopped that when my daughter was young, I mostly have non-physical volunteer activities. I'm the leader of the Wasatch Back chapter of the Citizens Climate Lobby. I helped start the first Rainbow Law Clinic in Utah to provide free legal help to people who are LGBTQ. And I'm on various committees within the bar.
You're a busy woman. All right, Damien, how about you?
Hello, I'm Damien Davenport. Like Lauren, I've been practicing in the area of assisted reproduction for quite some time. I've been actually practicing in this area of the law since 2005. I was brought into this area, or I decided to devote my practice in the area of assisted reproduction due to my wife and my struggles with infertility. At the time that we were dealing with those issues, there were no other attorneys here locally in the state. So I decided that I was going to throw my hat into that area of the law. And ever since then, I have developed an exclusive practice in the area of assisted reproduction, both domestic as well as international. I am a transplant from the state of Ohio, so I came out here to Utah in 1998. What brought me out here was my love of the outdoors. I am an avid biker, an avid skier. I truly believe that Utah has the greatest snow on earth. Fabulous. I do have one child, so we have been super excited to be here locally in the state of Utah, helping individuals who are struggling, or families who are struggling with infertility, both those who have medical issues and those in the LGBTQ community as well. That's about all. In regards to who I am and what I do, I thoroughly enjoy my practice of law in this area.
Well, you're both very healthy individuals, and I agree the snow is great in Utah. So let's talk about Utah. I'm sure people are clicking on this video thinking, usually they're at that beginning stage of, can I use a surrogate in Utah? Is Utah assisted reproductive friendly? Either of you, Lauren, is it a state to go to for that?
It really is. You know, and when I tell people when they call initially, Utah is a great place because we have a really good statute. And the statute lays out rules to make it safe for everyone in the process. And the judges are used to that statute. And it's a really stress-free experience, I think. What do you think, Damien?
I do. So our statute's been around since May of 2005, and there's been very minor changes to the statute. Those changes coming more recently with the LGBTQ community now being recognized as, or at least our statute being recognized to assist those couples as well. And I agree with Lauren. I think our statute's been around. The judges are very familiar with our statute, very comfortable with our statute, and it has truly been a great way for families to build their family through assisted reproduction and gestational surrogacy.
So I'm not licensed in Utah, but I rely on both of you heavily. So those that are looking at starting with a surrogacy specifically in Utah, can you tell us a little bit about that general process? What can they expect?
Sure. Oh, well, you go ahead and start, Damien. I'll chime in.
So I always like to tell my clients, in Utah, we have a three-part legal process. So we have the contract phase where the parties are working with their surrogate and their attorneys to draft a contract that will address the rights and responsibilities, the obligations of the parties as they embark upon their surrogacy journey. From there, the second part of our process requires the court to be involved. And what we have going on at that level is what we oftentimes will refer to as a pre-birth order. In Utah, it's what we refer to as an order validating the gestational agreement. And what that does is twofold. It will make that contract that you signed between you and your surrogate enforceable under Utah law, and will also declare the intended parents to be the parents of the child, the future child to be delivered by their surrogate. And then finally, after your surrogate after she's delivered the child, we have what's referred to as a post-birth order proceeding as well, where we will actually obtain a post-birth order or an order confirming parentage. And what that will do is it will confirm that your surrogate delivered your child on a very specific date. But most importantly, that order will then require the state of Utah through its Office of Vital Records and Statistics to issue the birth certificate naming the intended parents as the parents of that child. So again, to recap, we have a contract, a pre-birth and a post-birth order proceeding here in connection with our gestational surrogacy matter.
So Lauren, there's a lot of couples out there that look for that pre and post, which kind of makes Utah a go-to state for them, right? In that scenario.
Right. Yeah, I think it's really important and really nice to have be able to get a court order right away. So as soon as you enter into a contract here and negotiate that contract and it's all signed, then we file that with the court and have the court sign an order that says, like Damien said, it's enforceable. And so let's say, your surrogate says, hey, I want to make sure I can enforce the payment terms. Or let's say you feel like, I want to make sure that our surrogate's complying with the agreement here. You know that it's an enforceable contract. And a lot of other states don't have that. So it's a really nice thing to have here in Utah. Plus, as soon as the court signs that order, we typically send that to the Office of Vital Records, and that's the order, not the surrogacy agreement, but the order. We send it to the hospital once you know where your baby's going to be born. And that way, if your baby comes early for any reason at all, everyone knows you're the only legal parents of this child. And it's nice to be able to do that. I think it gives peace of mind to everyone.
Now, I mean, this is applicable to all the states, but the benefit of somebody going to both of you or either of you for consultation versus just any family law attorney that may not have experience in reproductive law. What do you think about that?
I can answer that with an example. This morning, we were going through our cases in my office and saying, well, who's representing the surrogate in that case? And we said, Damien. And we said, someone in my office said, well, that's a relief.
There you go.
Because Damien and I work together so often because we're really the only two people who represent a lot of intended parents and surrogates. And so it's because we're members of the Academy as well, we really talk about and think about all the issues. And there are issues that come up. There are issues in the contract. There are issues that can happen along the way. And for better or worse, we've experienced those issues over the many years that we practiced together. So often, Damien will represent the surrogate or the intended parents, and I'll represent the other parties. And we work together really well. We've done it for a long time. And we also make sure that our clients have good advice that's specific to them. It's important that they all have their own attorney, and that those are best practices as well.
Wonderful. All right. Well, I can tell you as an attorney that is not licensed in Utah, it's critical for me to have both of you to go to. So those of you that are listening to the video, the Academy has a website, and that website has a map. And on that map, you can click Utah. You will find the contact information for both of these fellows. And eventually you'll see some other additional information on Utah. But if you want to obtain that information and have a consultation with either of these fellows, please go to adoptionart.org, and they are more than happy to talk to you. Thank you, both of you, for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you, Kim. And thank you, Damien.
Thank you.